Hey, good morning to everybody. It's Daryl P, aka Artist in Recovery, talking to you from the old treadmill workout again. And once again, I'm going to pick a video, one of Belle Ranch's videos, to talk about this morning and kind of expound and continue the conversation and go a little deeper with what she talked about. And of course, throw in some of my own opinions on this. The video that I'm talking about this morning is, I believe it's from a day or two ago. Let's talk about Trump supporters falling for it, seeing it, and empathy. Okay, that's the video I'll be talking about. And as usual, I'm going to put the link right down in my video description. So if you haven't watched it yet or you want to rewatch it, it's right down in my video description. This is something I feel very strongly about. If you've watched my channel before, you know I talk a lot about empathy. I feel very empathic these days. There was a time when I first got clean and sober that I kind of hid that. I didn't talk about it because I thought empathy sounded feminine, like sympathy. It's not cool to be sympathetic or empathetic. This was about 20 years ago. And of course, I've thrown that crap, or maybe I've grown out of it and gotten a little more secure. But I feel very empathic, I feel connected. I put myself in other people's shoes when I can. Okay, so in this video, Belle talks about how she received a letter. And in that letter, the person had a conundrum. It was a person on the left, and he or she was asking, what should I do? There's Trump supporters around me that are feeling disenfranchised. They're feeling burned by Trump. I guess with the whole Epstein thing or tariffs or any multitude of things, finally. I personally, like Belle said, I never thought this day would come. But I actually mentioned this in a video I did just a day or two ago, that the Trump supporters around me, in my family, related to me, and people living in the building around me, I've actually seen a lot of them turning away from Trump, very angry about the prices. Seen the Washington, D.C. takeover, actually. They consider it just a show, and I'm shocked. Okay, so in this video, the person that wrote to Belle has a conundrum. They're basically asking, should I help kind of, extend my wing to take these lost Trump supporters in, and not harbor any grudges, and, like bygones be bygones, and kind of help them see the light? Or, should I say, should it be like a FAFO? Mess around and find out. So this is the letter that Belle received. I feel very strongly about this. A lot of it has to do with losing my girlfriend, my soulmate, the love of my life, Audrey. I think it goes a lot deeper than this. Just because Trump supporters are turning away because they're getting hit now, because his policies are actually, for once, they're affecting them personally and hard, and they're going to be affecting them more. And so now, all of a sudden, they don't like Trump's policies. To me, that's just not good enough. I think you have to look deeper into who these people are. These Trump supporters basically are. Their personality. To me, I see it a lot deeper than just, well, I'm turning away from Trump and maybe I'll vote independent next time or Democrat. I see it a lot deeper than that. For instance, the people like my girlfriend who were anti-vaxxers, the people that believe in RFK Jr. and all this insane stuff he puts out. I see it a lot deeper than just being a Trump supporter. These people, honestly, I believe they have deeper character flaws, like what pushed them towards these conspiracy theories in the first place, like the stuff about these wild conspiracy theories about the vaccines and all that other stuff. That's what my girlfriend listened to, and that ended up killing her. So yeah, I still harbor a lot of grudges about that. I don't see these Trump supporters, they're unhappy because now all of a sudden the money's coming out of their pocket, and it might be affecting people around them, getting picked up by ICE or hassled. And now all of a sudden, because it's affecting them personally, they don't like it. That's just not good enough for me. I'm not going to say anything bad about them, but I'm certainly not going to extend, try to take them under my wing, so to say. this is really how I feel about Trump supporters. And I'll be honest. I feel like they have character flaws, especially the male Trump supporters. I feel like they're insecure. This is how I truly feel. I'm not saying this just to piss people off. I feel that they're beta males, and they look at Trump as their big daddy, as their alpha. They are very unlike me. I'm not saying I'm alpha. I'm not an alpha. I'm a sigma. But that's not even what this has anything to do with. They have deep character flaws. They're conformists. I think they're afraid of people that don't look like them, that don't sound like them, that don't talk like them. And that's not going to go away. That's not going to change. You know, that would take some serious trips to the therapist and God knows what else to change. You know, just because these people are turned off to Trump right now, it hasn't changed their personalities. It hasn't changed their basic, what I call character flaws. You know, these people are the same people that wanted to check the sex, what sex people are going into a bathroom, that wanted kids pulled out of school to be kicked out of the country, to sent to Alligator Alcatraz. These are the same people that just a couple weeks ago were taking pictures, selfies with the Alligator Alcatraz sign. You know, I'm not going for it. You know, just because these Trump supporters are a little turned off, because for once it's affecting them. It's not good enough for me. And I don't see them changing. They have deeper issues that just, that don't go along well with the way I look at the world, which is more empathetic. You know, should I have empathy towards these Trump supporters? I've tried. I try. But I have a hard time having empathy for people that care so little about other people. Or even worse than that, people that are only happy when they see other people being tortured or are going through hard times or their rights being taken away. People in my family that have turned away from Trump, I just quietly listen and I'll interject some of my thoughts, especially on the tariffs and stuff like that they can grasp, that they can go along with, to kind of maybe gently help them see the light from this cult that they've been in. But overall, I just think Trump supporters have deeper, I call them character flaws. I mean, people might say maybe it's me that has the character flaws, and who knows, maybe it is, but my character, caring about other people and other people's rights, I believe that if one person loses their rights, has their rights violated, regardless if he's an illegal criminal or whatever they call him, then all of us have our rights and freedoms violated. That's what I believe. And that definitely does not, just because Trump supporters are angry with Donald Trump right now, I don't believe that's changed them. You know, if it walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's a duck. And I'm not falling for these Trump supporters supposedly turning their back on Trump. That's my thoughts on this. Let me know what you think. Have a good Friday.